in the Frog and Toad book, the story. It's on page 16. Hello, Marina and Sabin. The story. One day in summer, Frog was not feeling well, and Toad said, "Frog, are you looking quite green?" "But I always look green," said Frog. "I'm a frog." "Well, today you look very green, even for a frog," said Toad. "Get into my bed and rest." Toad made Frog a cup of hot tea. Frog drank the tea and then he said, "Tell me a story while I'm resting." So turn the page. "All right," said Toad. "Let me think of a story to tell you." Toad thought and thought, but he could not think of a story to tell Frog. "I'll go out on the front porch and walk up and down," said Toad. Perhaps that will help me think of a story." Toad walked up and down on the porch for a long time, but he could not think of a story to tell Frog. Turn the page. Then Toad went into the house and stood on his head. You can see the picture in the next page. "Why are you standing on your head?" asked Frog. "I hope that if I can stand on my head, it will help me think of a story," said Toad. Toad stood on his head for a long time, but he could not think of a story to tell Frog. Turn the page. Then Toad poured a glass of water over his head. "Why are you pouring water over your head?" asked Frog. "I hope that if I pour water over my head, it'll help me think of a story," said Toad. Toad poured many glasses of water over his head, but he could not think of a story to tell Frog. You see the picture there? Okay, now let's turn the page. Then Toad began to bang his head against the wall. "Why are you banging your head against the wall?" asked Frog. "I hope that if I bang my head against the wall hard enough, it'll help me think of a story," said Toad. Look, he's dizzy. "I'm feeling much better now, Toad," said Frog. "I don't think I need a story anymore." "Then you get out of bed and let me get into it," said Toad, "because now I feel terrible." Frog said, "Would you like for me to tell you a story, Toad?" "Yes," said Toad, "if you know one." Turn the page. Poor Toad. "Once upon a time," said Frog, "there were two good friends, a frog and a toad. The frog was not feeling well. He asked his friend the toad to tell him a story. The toad could not think of a story. He walked up and down on the porch, but he could not think of a story. He stood on his head, but he could not think of a story. He poured water over his head, but he could not think of a story. He banged his head against the wall, but he still couldn't think of a story. Then the toad did not feel so well, and the frog was feeling better. So the toad went to bed, and the frog got up and told him a story. The end. "How was that, Toad?" said Frog. But Toad did not answer. He had fallen asleep. The end.